Rangers. It's a festive atmosphere in La Hocketa. As always, lots of music pumping. And the weather, well, just a sprinkle earlier on. And now we have dry conditions. James Saunders is my name, and alongside me, Colin Murray. Colin, what do you expect of this matchup?
Interesting matchup, James. Just getting back to the weather slightly. We had a little drizzle and the ground was being watered. So hopefully they'll have some nice give, nice conditions, not too hard on the players. But interesting matchup because the Deportivo, they lost their first game by 3-0 against Police. And the AC Port of Spain team, they scored early against Central FC and were pulled back to 1-1. So, you know, at this point in time, the Deportivo, they are at the bottom of the table while the AC Port of Spain team is midway.
Yeah,
so I expect a competitive game, James.
Yeah, Kunupe FC, of course, leading the table at the moment, followed by Police FC, who are going to be coming up later. Interesting matchup with these teams having played football in such a long time. Well, speaking of not having played football in such a long time, Coach Selvon Francis, he certainly would be needing goals for his team. Of course, they are still at the bottom of the table after having lost 3-0 in their opening match. And he spoke about preparation and the limited amount of preparation and fitness concerns. Let's hear from him.
The return to competitive football, that is something coaches all over have been clamoring for the longest while. For me, it's a big relief. I feel relieved that we're back on the field, back with competitive football, no restrictions, or little restrictions really. But I think most teams suffered from limited preparation. My boys in particular, we had a few people who might not have been vaccinated at a certain time, and then they got vaccinated. So we started training about more like a month ago, and I think pre-season preparation for most teams will be limited. A challenge for the league title will mean players giving 110% every single game, right? And one of the things we know that most teams lack in preparation, as I mentioned before. So what we want to know, the teams that have more hunger is the ones that will bring it home. So my boys, I keep pushing with them. We might get fit during the season, might reach peak during the season. So it's hunger at the moment that will take us through to the title.
Yeah, again, James, you notice they talking about the lack of preparation. They didn't have the time to really prepare for a tournament like this. So you're going to find they're going to use the games to get fit, to sort of not only in terms of getting fit, but work out their tactics, etc. So if you don't get a fast start in this tournament, you can find yourselves in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I also heard the word hunger as well. And I can tell you who's hungry at the moment, Wesley John. Hughes and Hector, of course, you know those names if you're familiar with Point Fortin football. They're hungry and eager to get back on the pitch after 2 years of inactivity.
Training session and the vibes, everything is pure joy, it's happiness just to be back on the playing pitch. Basically, we've been a lot of physical training session because to get yourself in shape for the matches going forward. But the team spirit, camaraderie, everything has been, you know, up full vibes, as I say. As a team, I think we best qualities going in will be fighting for each other, yeah, fighting for one another, stuff like that. That will really be the best qualities, the togetherness. Well, firstly, we're aiming to finish in the top 3. I mean, that is the goal. We've been in a situation where we've been home for, as I said, 2 years. So that's to be the opportunity to play again in itself. That is a prize, that's a blessing. So.
After 2 years no football, you can see as we come out on the pitch, all the lads are happy to be out here playing football. The training intense, men coming out, they're coming out early. You can see it's a joy for when you see players on the ball playing the football game. You understand? So the vibes is very high. You can see the togetherness in the team, the way we play the game, the energy we want to play the game at. And besides coming out in the top 3, you can see we want to play the football to entertain not only the crowd up, but we want to get games down here so we could entertain Point Fortin people.
Again, James, what I expect is the doubleheader this evening to be competitive. I think no team is going to just sit back. They're going to run at each other. And as we saw last week, I think the same thing is going to happen this week. We're going to find two really competitive games.
Well, I tell you what, the coach of Athletic Club Port of Spain, formerly Northeast Stars, his name is Gilbert Bateau, and he certainly has a different motivation. He's got an upcoming squad, a very young squad, and he's been preparing them for both professional circuit as well as the college circuit.
The AC Port of Spain has a goal, and it's what brought me to AC Port of Spain. The fact that they want to recruit or improve the life and the playing skills of younger players for college and also professional football. They are not quite there because even through the pandemic, they had a lot of guys, they were playing football. They probably may not have played with the intensity that was needed, but at least they were playing football. So it's my job now to get them to that readiness to be able to play for 90-minute constant football. We will use this tournament and this Ascension League to further develop the competitive aspect of the young guys that we have here. It's a good feeling to know that we could get back out on the playing field and do what every one of us love, to play the wonderful game of football.
Well, we've heard from the coaches, we've heard from the players. It's time for action, James.
Yeah, certainly. And even before that, of course, captaincy. It's a major part of any squad. AC Port of Spain, they've got a real tough man in the captaincy position, Sion Thomas, and we had an opportunity to speak with him as well.
We are a very youthful team, and some players are very experienced as well. So we bring a lot of energy, pressing, and defensive structure. Training sessions has been really intense, working on new tactics, just preparing for the league, getting everything down packed. It's been good. The vibes of the team is really good. Our brotherly, camaraderie, love, and yeah, everything is going well. So to be a successful tournament and team, just being able to play again, building for the future, and hopefully we can have some namesakes on the national team in the upcoming windows. Then buzzing to be back out on the pitch. It's been too long. Just happy to be here. Just happy to do what we always love.
You know, some of the players, ex-national players, current national players, they're experienced. They're young.
We tossed into a break after this, right?
Once again, we're eager to play, so it's,
okay.
You know, we're always willing to learn. So I think that in itself is an amazing quality, because in this day and age, if you continue learning, you just keep getting better. The players that play together, we play together a lot, so it's like we were a team before we came to the team, if that makes sense. So the energy, the vibes is actually very amazing. I believe that players, you know, getting contracts abroad and like doors opening for players abroad would be a very good mark for us at the end of the league or the end of the tournament, because it shows that, you know, the hard work that we put in during the tournament and the performances that we are going to show, it would lead other teams and other countries to invest in us.
Well, James, I was so wanting this game to get going. I was saying action, and I forgot the skipper, Sion Thomas, to have his say. Now we've heard from him. We've heard from all the players. We've heard from the coaches. It's time for action. This is what we're here for. James, the first game, Deportivo Point Fortin FC against AC Port of Spain FC. What a game in store.
Indeed.
We take a break, and when we come back, it's going to be live action.
have this on this side. Yes, Cassie and subs coming in. Eight, 6. Next to us. As Colin Murray said, it's time for action here at the Lock, the recreation ground. Deportivo Point Fortin coming up against AC Port of Spain. These are two teams relatively new to the competition here in Trinidad and Tobago. Deportivo having only been around since 2019, just 3 years old as a club, while Athletic Port of Spain, formerly known as Northeast Stars, they've been around quite a bit longer. They've been around since the year 2000, but they've only recently been rebranded just about 2 years ago as AC Port of Spain. An exciting clash expected here in La Joquita, East Trinidad. The sun just setting over the ground as the stands begin to fill up. Very soon we will have the lineups as well as greet the players coming out on the field. My name, of course, is James Saunders, and alongside me, Colin Murray. Exciting matchup expected.
Yeah, James, I would think a good game in store, good competitive game. We'll just have to wait and see the kind of quality these two teams produce. You know, I think both these teams want to play out from the back, knock the ball around, get it up to the strikers, and hopefully they'll take their chances. I think last week what was important, we saw a real competitive, both games were very competitive. The tackling was hard, the tackling was fierce but fair, and I expect to see the same here this evening with these two teams.
So Quincy Williams will lead the contingent of referees together with his two assistants as the teams make their way onto the field. AC Port of Spain in the yellow, very young team, and Deportivo Point Fortin, led by that familiar face, Trinidad and Tobago international Marvin Phillips, as they line up, and very soon they will have the national anthem and all that jazz going along. You spoke about tough tackling. These teams coming in tough positions. Of course, AC with a draw last weekend. They're in fourth position. Deportivo yet to get a point. They went down 3-0. And, they were in need of some points, you would think.
Oh, yeah, they certainly will be looking, for some points here. In terms of AC Port of Spain, they took the lead against Central FC. I think we mentioned that earlier. They played very, very early. They took the lead. And after that, they really struggled in terms of trying to get another goal. They were pegged back late in the game when Central FC scored, so they had to share the points. But I would think that AC Port of Spain would come into this encounter slightly a little bit more confident than the Deportivo Point Fortin team. However, they now would be looking to push forward, try to get a win, to get back into contention in terms of getting to the top of the league. So it should be very interesting.
Well, lots of experience in the Deportivo camp. Of course, Marvin Phillips, the number one that you saw just a while earlier. He will take charge in the goalkeeping position. Quincy Williams, the man on your screen at the moment, very experienced referee. Well, speaking of experience, AC Port of Spain, they're a very young team. Lots of players just out of secondary school. And this should make for an exciting matchup, youth versus experience. So just to give you a quick idea of some of the lineup, the key player for AC Port of Spain, Alec Benny. He will lead the attack. That's the brother, of course, of a former national player, Shea Benny. So we get set for kickoff. Deportivo Point Fortin versus AC Port of Spain. So Deportivo in yellow. Captain Thomas is trying to build up out of the bat. Finally deciding to go route one. It's going to be a chase here for Benny. It's booted out of touch, and immediately they try to go forward. AC Port of Spain. So just a bit of a hold up. The referee not satisfied that the field was sufficiently cleared, an extra ball in the field. Finally, he will have some space to toss a throw in. So the crowd just building up here in La Hoqueta. Point 14 forced to defend really early in this match. Looking for Benny, headed away by Wesley John. It's back with Port of Spain as they look to push forward. And that touch misdirected, goes out of touch, and point 14 will finally grab hold of possession. Well, this is headed not really well, but they still pick up possession. It's bouncing around as Port of Spain try to carve open some space on the right side. Tussle, Mark Ramdeen goes down, no whistle. It's back with the yellow shirts of Port of Spain as they try to get an attack going forward with Warner. We'll have a throw. So lots of experience at the back of the point 14 defense. Wesley John, he's going to be marshalling the wearing the number 24. Also the familiar name of Andre Etienne, Justin Cornwall and Jeremiah Casa as the fullbacks. So this is a long throw in, away by John. Well, they're really struggling to hold on to possession in the opening few minutes of this match. Point 14, this one is deep in the area and way over everybody's head, and that's gone out for a goal kick. So early pressure being applied by point 14, by Port of Spain.
Yeah, and you expect that. They, as I said, and I keep saying it, they scored early against Central FC. So they seem to be a fast starting team. They seem to take the game early to the opposition and try and put them under pressure and get that early goal.
Well, again, they give away possession cheaply, but it's back with point 14. He's done well to carve open some space here. Can he push forward, Philip? Well, he's got Mark Ramdeen in an inch of space, and well, he tried to find the run of Shaquille Henry, but unfortunately for him, it was easily picked up by goalkeeper Regalio Holder.
So Mark Ramdeen, of course, James, coming out of Naparima, one of the stars of the secondary schools league. And Mark Ramdeen, very much left-footed, but got pinpoint accuracy with that left foot. So he's going to see how he's partaking here in what should we say, big man football now, coming out of the secondary schools. But a very skillful, very classy type of player.
As the song says, he has to bamba with the big boys. It's point 14 to defend. It's a free kick for Port of Spain.
Nunes,
Nigel
is it
Nunes.
Nunes? Yeah.
But he floats this one in. Oh, he's found his man there, and the goalkeeper Marvin Phillip had to be quick off his line.
Offside.
Taken quickly.
The offside flag was raised, but the referee, playing the advantage, allowed the keeper to continue with the play.
So it's a free kick for point 14. Ramdeen would, in fact, he's left it to a more experienced Wesley John, pouring numbers forward into the area. 7 shirts. Etienne, he's going to lend his height together with Wesley John. So they're going for the big men to pile into the area. Looking to get that height advantage against the significantly shorter players in AC Port of Spain. This one is floated in. Looking for Etienne. Well, not really handled well by the goalkeeper, but effective. And he gives away a throw. Taken short. Looking for some movement now is Cornwall. Switch that. Pushing it forward. Here's Shaquille Henry. The flag goes up in an offside position. Another offside called against Deportivo point 14. Shaquille Henry, by the way, celebrating his 28th birthday tomorrow. Man who last played his club football with Paradise FC in Barbados. Was one of the early casualties of the lockdown situation due to the pandemic, as he was stranded in Barbados for quite a while before coming home. This one is long, can't get past Cornwall, rises really well. Got a nice compact look about them, point 14. Was a bit surprised at the result in their opening match where they went down 3-0. Got ton loads of experience in their ranks as this one switched nicely, but too long in the end for the intended target. McLean, of course, the goal scorer for AC Port of Spain in their last match against Central FC. That match, of course, ended in a 1-1 draw. As he run out of real estate, the referee's assistant, Kevin Lewis, agrees, and it is a throw to Port of Spain. Here is Merez. Punches it inside. Ran into some traffic. And he's left it well there, opening up some space as they push forward. Here is Port of Spain. Floated over the top. Can he find some space to get a shot off? Well, he hesitated somewhat. Possession was stolen from Augustus. And the throw eventually goes against Port of Spain. Here's Wesley John. Well, it was closed down pretty quickly there, John. Not getting much room to swing that left hoof of his. Getting away this time by Cornwall. Big toss in the middle. It's almost pin ball at the moment. And the referee finally has enough as he saw something that he was very displeased with. A big smile on his face, Quincy Williams. He's allowed them to be big men and rough boys, but he's finally seen enough and he's whistled against Point Fortin this time around. Well, they're not shy to push bodies forward, Port of Spain. Got 5 bodies and quite an interesting congress around the ball. These days, Colin Murray, you tend to see a lot of players assembling around the ball for free kicks.
Certainly do. They hoping that the wall does its job.
Well, here's Thomas, the captain, deflected, and Marvin Phillips does well to collect. Never really troubled the TNT international. 82 caps for his country, Marvin Phillips. Just sense that if they had to beat him, you've got to come really well.
He's a fine goalkeeper, isn't he? Probably one of you talk about a long line of good goalkeepers or great goalkeepers Trinidad and Tobago has had over the years. I think Marvin Phillip would be right up amongst them. It's very reliable and certainly his positional play is also very good. It's in terms of him cutting off angles, etc. He's a wonderful keeper. And you know, they say that keepers, the older they get, the better they get. And Marvin Phillips certainly falls in that category.
I mean, just look at Gigi Buffon. He's well into his 40s, still playing football. Looking for Ramdeen, not the tallest of players, but he does well. Silky skills from Ramdeen. But he can't get away from his man eventually. But it's back with Point Fortin. They look to break down the right-hand side, and this one is well cut out by Kessa.
Of course, the number 10 there, and well, we're looking at the 4th official there. The assistant referee and the coach of Deportivo.
Henry tried to hold off that one. No luck, but it's still with Point Fortin. Looking for space. He's going to Cornwall. Oh, he's done well. He's pushed past 2. Can't get past the 3rd, but he might have won a corner for his team. Port of Spain are appealing. The referee seems to agree with them. So it will be a goal kick. Thought for a moment that he won his team a corner there. But he did really well to create a yard of space for himself in the middle. But it's given right back to Point Fortin. Mark Ramdeen turns into traffic. See yellow shirts that come away. Deflected. Benny. Too long, and that will be throw for Point Fortin. Try to find his man out wide.
That was John and Etienne, hands up there in the air, looking for an offside. Certainly wasn't an offside. They are the players from the Deportivo camp.
They've got a ton loads of experience. See the likes of former TNT international Andrew Pacheco in the ranks. It's Cornwall. Looking for Henry, too long. Again, you see one of those volleyball type challenges in the middle. So Ramdeen, can he push away from trouble to open up some space here? Again, the pass is cut out. They've often tried to go through the center of the park. Not much luck for either team, you'd say.
No, and the thing is, you're watching both these teams. They're getting into the tackles quick. They're pressing high. They're ensuring that the players that are in possession of the ball don't really have time. Look at this. You're looking at, that was what, Philip had no time. He had to go back to his defenders. He had to go back to Cornwall. So it's a sort of high press game that the AC Port of Spain team is playing. They're not allowing Deportivo to settle on the ball.
It's a throw to the team from the capital. Edwards sends it long, and attempted pass from striker Benny is cut out. Benny, of course, younger brother of TNT Youth International, Che Benny. Comes from a long line of footballers, the Benny family.
You surprised Shea isn't playing, James?
I'm a tad surprised. I was in fact surprised to see him in the lineup. Initially slated to not be available for this match.
I remember him well. He was at St. Anthony's College playing, of course, in the secondary schools league. But I also remember him playing in the futsal world tournament.
He scored a memorable goal.
He scored probably the goal of the tournament, I thought. Very cultured left foot he's got. And I would expect to see him sometime during the course of this game.
Shea Benny, of course, the nephew of former players, Marvin Joseph. If you remember Marvin Joseph, Lorne Joseph as well. Oh, that's a bad giveaway. It's with Point Fortin. Henry just allowed it to run across his body, hoping to create space, but he has found some space, and there's a chance for Point Fortin, deflected. And the follow-up, deflected again. Well, is anybody going to get it? Ramdeen at the goal.
That's the left foot.
He hits the bullseye, and it's Deportivo Point Fortin that takes the lead. It bounced around in the area, some fortune for Port of Spain, but eventually Lady Luck ran out. Ramdeen put his name on the score sheet, and Point Fortin are 1-0 ahead.
We talk about talent. We talked about that left foot from the Naparima days, and we thought, how would he adjust to this kind of football? But what it was a bad giveaway, but Henry did well, getting to get that ball across. The shot came, and then it came to Riley. He had a crack. It was then blocked, and this is the shot coming in from Ramdeen. And we've seen him over the years play for Naparima, and we've got to know that that left foot can be deadly if he hits it well. And boy, oh boy, did he hit that well. What a good shot, what a good goal. But there we see is an injury to one
Captain,
of the...
Thomas.
Is it Thomas?
He's down at the moment. And, well, he's holding on to his right thigh, which is hope that nothing major, but he's back on his feet now. Look of concern from one of the assistant coaches.
Well, you do remember, James, in the last week, in the first round, a lot of players were falling to the ground, some cramping, they had one or two seeming to have some muscle injuries. So it's going to be tough on these players, because remember, they haven't been playing football for over 2 years.
Well, he's opened up some room. Captain still off the field at the moment as Henry tries to be clever. He's cut out. But he's finding lots of space in the middle. He's done well to create space time and time again as this one goes forward. Here's Mark Ramdeen, the goal scorer. Cornwall overlapping. Well, they're keeping possession nicely. Just trying to draw Port of Spain out of the area. And that's a bad giveaway from Etienne after what appeared to be promising build-up play.
I thought he was looking for Riley to be making the run, but that ball was hit far too straight. And Riley was, he took up a good position, he was wide. And there was the ball, the long ball coming up from Etienne. But, you know, he was looking for Riley, but in the end it was a bad pass.
Certainly an experienced one, Etienne. 5 national caps for the man from Point Fortin. Did win a title in India, the Duand Cup, with the couple of seasons that he spent there. Also, he is a Caribbean club champion, Central FC, all the way back in 2016. So certainly does possess lots of experience. Here's another man with experience. And again, finding lots of space in the middle. Hudson sends that one forward. Flag stays down, but it finally goes up. Ramdeen certainly looked well and truly on his way to a second. Well, the game certainly is opening up now. It started off quite cagey, but they're finding spaces. Well, this man, he's been beaten once so far. Hope not to be beaten again. This one is long and Etienne gets up high. Ramdeen can't control it. It's with Port of Spain, but they've won it back. And here's the man they call Smek. Shaquille Henry, looking for options, picks out Hudson. Looking for room to get a right-footed shot away. Well won back by Port of Spain. Good strength to evade the challenge, but can he get past the second one? But that's good pressing. And perhaps a bit too straight. Going all the way back to the goalkeeper.
Oh, that's a good take. They're giving away the ball far too easily at times, AC Port of Spain. They've got to be careful because they're losing the ball in areas where they can get hurt.
Well, here's Ramdeen, he certainly can hurt them. Looking for space, and the shot not well directed by Henry.
Yeah, again, James, they lose possession. So they're losing, AC Port has been losing possessions far too easily at the moment.
Well, here's Hudson looking to shoot. Well charged on. It's back with AC Port of Spain, but again, they can't get away with it. No foul, says the referee. And a handball, a call there. Not spotted by the assistant referee. Thought he got away with that one, Colin Murray.
Well, James, I'm not too sure. I think it was close to the hand, but maybe we can see that again if possible.
Well, they're looking to break here. Benny. Oh, he's done well to get past one. In the area, can he get a shot away? And that's good defending from Cornwall, who had to retreat from quite a long way. And well, it's end to end at the moment. Certainly exciting. Chandel Augustus thought he would have gotten in there. Here's Edwards. The belated flag comes up for the infringement on the Point Fortin player.
I think both teams guilty at the moment of just giving away that ball too easily. You've got to make your opponents work to get the ball. But some of the passes, not only going astray, but give both teams credit because from the time the ball starts to come out from the back, they're putting pressure on the player in possession of the ball. So we've been seeing a lot of balls being not given away, but possession being won back by the opposition. So credit to both teams.
Well, here's Wesley John, a man that has played in over 5 countries. He's played extensively across Asia, back to help his home community, Point Fortin. Oh, that's a good turn. Can they win it back? It's gone well. But here comes Port of Spain now. Looking for Benny, and again, well cut out by Etienne. Marvin Phillips, he's quite comfortable on his feet. A 6'1" goalkeeper. Ramdeen. He's got players ahead of him. Gets it to Hudson.
That's a killer ball because Ramdeen was being played that ball with 3 yellow shirts around him.
Henry's done well to wiggle past 3. Can't get past the third, and the break is on now for AC Port of Spain. Here's McLean. He certainly knows a thing or two about goal scoring. That's clever defending. Just quicker to the quicker to the ball.
Young Jordan Riley brought down. Of course, Jordan Riley has made a name for himself at Presentation College. Was the dead ball specialist, free kicks, penalties, but really did well going up the sides of the park for Prez.
Kesa's cross is blocked. Will be a throw. But you can just hear the drums around the La Hakata facility. Always a festive atmosphere here in East Trinidad. Kesa's got Riley ahead of him. Aims for Henry. Too long, headed away. Well, certainly what they've done well, Colin Murray, they've pressed really well. Deportivo. I think that's why they've been able to win back possession easily. Here's Etienne.
It's good control, but a poor ball, really. But it's Benny in possession there.
Oh, they can break here. Looking for a shot maybe. Crowded out by the Point Fortin defense. Can they open them up? He's opened up and he has a goal. Deflected by Etienne. And it should bounce away for a corner. In fact, it is a corner. And Marvin Phillips is saying that you've got to close this down quicker.
You could see what McLean was trying though. He was looking to try to curl that ball into the top corner. Came off the defender. And he's got a corner.
Phillips marshalling his troops. Certainly been one of the stalwarts on the current Trinidad and Tobago team. Had one spell outside of Trinidad and Tobago with Naroka FC in the Indian Premier League. Not to be confused with the cricket competition. Had 12 caps in a loan spell for them. This one is in. Should be easy for Phillips. Gobbles it up.
That's great goalkeeping, isn't it? This could be problems here for AC Port of Spain.
Yes, Henry. And he's pulled up there. That's not a good sign. He's holding on to his left hamstring.
And again, James, look at what we're seeing. We're 25 minutes into this game, just over 25 minutes, and players are already starting to hold their legs, their hamstring, and we're going to see that. It's really unfortunate because the games are tough. You're looking at this game, and it's a tough one. And look, let's have a look. He was all of a sudden he looked to turn, and he felt that his foot. Just cramping up on him, maybe it's the hamstring. But, we're going to see a lot of that. We saw it last week. We're going to see it again this week. Until these players, have a little bit more time in terms of training and their fitness, getting their fitness right, we're going to see a lot of players pulling up.
Here's McLean.
And no fault of their own. I mean, it's just the time span in terms of when this league started as to the amount of training the teams could have put in.
Well, we did hear the coach in the pre-match talk about the limited preparation time. Certainly would be a big loss for Point Fortin if Henry is unable to continue. Henry, of course, is part of the Trinidad and Tobago under-23 team that took part in the Pan American Games. SSFL winner with Presentation College. Also spent some time in Vietnam. Ton load of experience. Will be a big miss if he is changed. Well, that was aimed for Riley. Not finding its target. Here's McLean. Couldn't dribble past Kesa.
The way Henry went down there, James, holding the back of his hamstring, I don't think he's going to take any further part in this game. I'll be surprised if he goes back on.
Never like to see a player go down unchallenged. Such an explosive player, Shaquille Henry. Grew up in Palo Seco, South Trinidad. Always one of those players that you expected great things from. So he should have an early change coming on because it seems that he will play no further part in the match. Still goalless in case you just joined us between AC Port of Spain and Deportivo Point Fortin. 1-0 in fact.
Yeah, I was wondering, James, you didn't see Ramdeen's goal.
But it seems like like I've got the grey hair.
Well, I'm not going to comment on that one.
So forced into change.
Yeah, so Henry is off, right?
He's certainly going to be replaced very shortly. Will play no further part in this match. Port of Spain looking to find an equalizer. Not in that effort. Here's Hudson, who almost bullied off of that possession. Ramdeen just couldn't find space, and Wesley John eventually gets it away. Benny.
It's a good tackle.
I think Ramdeen would have done well enough to hold on to possession, and finally we are going to see that change.
Yeah, because the Deportivo, they've been playing with 10 men in the last, I would say, 5 to 7 minutes. So Henry's off.
Well, I will tell you in a bit who is the player that just came on.
The number 6 player is on, but we don't seem to have a name for that particular player.
Yes, point Fortin. Giving away possession cheaply.
You know, since the goal, though, AC Port of Spain, they've come more into the game. They haven't created anything really to trouble Marvin Phillip. But I think they've started to get a little bit more possession. And they're trying to string their passes together and trying to get Benny more into the game.
Well, that one again easily cut out, but they've had some fortune, and that's a good turn. He's opened up past 1, 2 is gone down. No whistle.
Good tackle, though. I thought they started to crowd him out.
And here they push forward. Looking for options.
Too
Just
long,
into
James.
trouble.
He should have been playing that ball. Riley was wide. He could have looked right-sided and looked to get Riley in the play, but he just kept running with it. And eventually was just crowded out. That's better.
Well, he's opened up some space along the right. Jordan Riley chases after it. Can't outmuscle his man. Perez.
Yeah. Good tackle in the end. Did well.
Jordan Riley certainly has been forced to transition really quickly into senior football. Was a South Zone champion with Presentation College in 2017. Certainly one of the stars of that Presentation College team. Very highly rated. He's also part of the TNT Under-20 team in 2018 that managed to get out of the Caribbean zone of qualifying. Well, almost good link-up play. Denied by Hudson. Looking to get out of trouble. Good tackle from Jordan Riley yet again. What do you think he's done so far since he's progressed into the senior ranks, Jordan Riley?
Well, the pace is a little bit different here in terms of they're not giving him time on the ball, James, and that's what he got that when he's playing secondary schools football. He was given a little bit more time to control the ball, work the ball. Here, he's not given the time, and they're closing him down quickly, and he'll have to adjust. He's got to play a little bit quicker. He's got to get to the ball faster. He's got to release it quicker.
Well, it's 1 versus 3. When he's done well, he's gotten past all 3 of them. Can he get a good service in? It's a toss-off. And Port of Spain, they're grateful to get that one out of the danger area. And a break could be on, but given away as Cornwall intercepts. Here's Mark Ramdeen to open up another attack for Deportivo. But he's got Riley to his right. He opts to go through the center. And he's gone into maybe the wrong option. It's a nice sounding jam. Nice on the air. As Port of Spain come away with it again. Rondell Phillip perhaps had a bit more options going forward in that last attack. Eventually giving it away cheaply. Ramdeen with a kung fu style interception. Mark Ramdeen, everything good seems to flow through him. Maybe a shot.
I was just thinking that, James, every time he picks up the ball, he looks dangerous. You know, he's running with it, he's passing it off when he needs to. And of course, he's got that gifted left foot that he scored the goal with. So I'm quite impressed so far with Ramdeen. He's making a lot of space for himself wide on the left. But when he comes in, he picks it up and knocks it around nicely. He's doing well.
Point 14. Will start the attack with Etienne. Nobody in particular. Hudson cuts it out and is given away a throw. Would be a throw to AC Port of Spain. Of course, AC Port of Spain, formerly Northeast Stars. They did make the transition just a few years ago. Certainly, as a club, in terms of their culminated history, have been relatively successful at the professional level in Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, they have now migrated from the Far East, Sangre Grande and that community, to the capital city.
I was kind of getting worried when you said Far East.
Made in
James,
China?
I was kind of wondering where you were talking about. Then I remembered Sandy Grande.
You people from the capital.
Got past the lighthouse.
Well, that's what they always say in Trinidad and Tobago. Folks are living in the capital city.
They don't go past the lighthouse. Yeah.
Well, here's a chance opening up now. Maybe a chance for another left-footed strike. What a tackle that was from the captain, Sion Thomas. And again, he's holding on to that hamstring as another one comes in, whiskers away. And the point 14, they're huffing and they're puffing and asking to be let in.
That was Phillip, wasn't it? Beauty of a volley.
Certainly was.
Hit it one time. I thought he might have tried to control it, but give him kudos. He hit it on the volley. It kept it low and it just went to the left of Holder's post.
Well, they're certainly coming closer to second. Deportivo point 14 still lead this match by 1-0. Aimed in. Well, he's found his man. He struggled to control it. As Cornwall just seemed to back off of him.
Oh, that's a foul. The referee says no. Felt he played the ball clearly. I thought he went into the back of the player.
Well, I tell you what, he's been consistent in terms of his calling or non-calls. Quincy Williams, he's allowed the game to flow and, well, he's allowed himself to get some space for a shot. Not well directed, but the idea certainly can get an A for that. The execution.
McLean, but I thought it was too far out. You're not going to beat Marvin Phillips from that distance. You've got to be on target. You've got to hit it well. You know, that's it's going to take a really great effort to beat Marvin Phillips from that distance.
Phillip tried to tread the needle. Fortunately, too narrow. Port of Spain again, as we've seen all evening, trying to break down the right-hand side. Here's Augustus. Cut out by Cornwall. He's won that battle 9 out of 10 times.
Do you see the work Ramdeen is doing? Came back in defense and look at him now, going forward.
Well, there's a man down, but they don't care. But the flag goes up. Well, they were hoping to continue with play and perhaps get a goal, but the assistant referee signaled for offside.
I didn't see what happened there. Is that Phillip?
Yeah, he seems to have gone down off the ball.
Again, he's holding the back of his hamstring.
Not a good sign for Deportivo. They've already lost Shaquille Henry to an injury. Won't like to lose the engine room of Phillip. Second player to go down for point 14. Well, the good news is he's on his feet, so that might account for something.
Yeah, but he is, I think he's going to be all right. He seems to be walking far better now, not hobbling. So I think he's going to continue, Philip.
Well, certainly good news for the fans back in Tiche Village, Mora, and all those villages that make up the borough of Point Fortin. And again, he's done really well, Cornwall. Found him impenetrable at times down the right-hand side. It's really been solid. For Spain, they've predominantly chosen to attack down that right-hand side. They've often found Cornwall an obstacle too big to get past. He's a little man, though. The irony of that statement. And, well, tell you what, it's in the first half, but again, Deportivo, they've looked to their bench and might be making another change.
Yeah, it seems that Philip can't make it. Oh, that's a bad back pass. He's giving away a corner.
So the change will be made soon, and
so Philip is off as well now.
Andre
14.
Pacheco comes in. Andre Pacheco, of course, one of my former teammates back at Star World Strikers and the Ream of Fire. He's a veteran now, 37 years old, Andre Pacheco.
It's going to be interesting how he takes to this game, because it's a fast-paced game, James. You know, both teams are going hell. You know, when you look at both of these teams, they're running at each other. They're not giving away anything. Pacheco will want to slow it down a little bit. He would want to be more measured in his play. It's going to be interesting what happens.
Well, this one can fall to a yellow shirt. Bounces awkwardly. And Jordan Riley to come away. Not the best of touch from a young man. Gives it right back to Port of Spain.
Not too sure what he tried there.
Well, he's pushing past. Still has Cornwall to contend with. Trying to go through the middle, and a chance could open up. And there's a chance that taken with a plum.
Brilliant goal, actually. Absolutely brilliant. The angle. Wonderful strike. And Marvin Phillips tried to come out and cover the angle, and he was still beaten.
Well, they say it takes something special to beat Marvin Phillips. And how about this? Well, they've certainly parted the blue sea of the Point Fortin defense, and they've gotten joy.
Was it Anthony Charles? Oh, yeah, it looked like Charles. Anthony Charles, who equalized. So 1-1 now. Game back on, James.
Well, what a game this is. It's ebbing and flowing. Point Fortin seem to be in control until a few moments. Well, here's Pacheco, and that one overhit from him. Not going to see many overhit from him with that left boot, Andre Pacheco.
Yeah, well, he's just come into the game, so I think he's going to take a little time to get adjusted.
Well, here he is, opened up nice bit of space, and again, Ramdeen, a heavy touch, but he uses his body well. And well,
yeah, he's won the free kick, no doubt. Okay, I thought he was getting the better of the defender, and he was going around him, and he was pulled down. Yeah. There's he being
big boy play from Edwards.
Pulled down by Edwards. But Edwards has had a tough evening so far with Ramdeen, because Edwards is out at that right back position. And he's found Ramdeen to be a real handful.
Here's Pacheco to float one into Etienne, and whoa! Well, he just missed his coordinates, but that is perhaps the best chance that they've carved out all evening. And Andre Etienne just couldn't put a handle on it. But I told you about that left boot from Pacheco.
It's a wonderful free kick, and he's put it to the back post. I thought Etienne jumped a little too early, and he was airborne, sort of waiting for the ball, and then couldn't control the header. But an excellent ball from Pacheco, and that's the beauty of Andre Pacheco. He's could measure those set pieces. And AC Port of Spain will have to be careful. They don't want to give away too many free kicks with Pacheco and also Ramdeen around.
Well, Pacheco does have a couple of caps with the Trinidad and Tobago national team. There's also a 2001 Intercol winner with Princeton. Shared a team with the likes of Marvin Phillips and the recently deceased Clyde Leon. Was an instrumental part of that team. Also had a stint at Columbus Crew in the MLS,
Yep.
Andre Pacheco. So he certainly packs a lot of experience. He's a two-time Caribbean Club Championship winner. So the interesting thing about Point Fortin, they've certainly got depth in their squad.
Yeah, Pacheco has been around, there's no doubt about it. He's definitely coming to the end of his career, but still has a lot to offer to the youngsters.
So it's 1-1 between AC Port of Spain and Deportivo Point Fortin.
Coming up to the end of the first half, we'll have to see just how much time the referee will add on.
Yes, Port of Spain, can they get something before the half? Well, they've given it away. Yes, Pacheco. Etienne. Andre Pacheco.
He wants the ball, he wants the ball, he wants to create for Deportivo.
It's Wesley John. Mark Ramdeen. It's cut out well, but it's back with Ramdeen. Step over, he's gotten past one, he's brought the crowd to life, and he's opened up a chance there. He's gone down, they're appealing for something. Referee Williams says he's not interested in the appeal, so nothing wrong. This time he does, and it will be a free kick just outside the area to Point Fortin.
What skill again there, James, by Ramdeen? I tell you, let's have a look at it. There's the look at Ramdeen. Look at the step over. Beauty. Oh, this is not superb. It's a gifted player. What I like about him, he's controlling that left side. He's attacking when they have the ball. When they lose the ball, he's back defending. He's had a wonderful half so far. And of course, he's copped it off with that goal.
Well, Jordan Riley will have an opportunity to show some of his dead ball ability that he has shown in the secondary school. You've covered the secondary school football league.
He's been excellent for presentation. The penalties, the set pieces, they've always turned to Jordan Riley. And obviously, Deportivo, they know of his skill when it comes to the dead ball situation. Let's see how he does.
So here is Riley, goes to goal and too high. And his first attempt doesn't trouble that man in your picture. But he's a young man, he will have more opportunities.
I think Holder he was keeping for St. Mary's at the time and went across to Naparima. So he's another one, a product of the secondary schools. Understand there's 1 minute of added on time?
1 minute. Can any of these teams put themselves in a favorable position heading into the halftime? Port of Spain will attempt to get something from the final few minutes. Well cut out. And again, Cornwall, the man at the center of that defensive move. It's Port of Spain probing, cut out yet again. And here they come away, Point Fortin. Minutes remaining, Jordan Riley to open something up for Deportivo. And a chance here, hit on the first post, and well, at least it was close. Doesn't trouble the goalkeeper, but it did bring some cheers of excitement from the Point Fortin fans.
I think it would have been better trying to get across. He was at a very, very difficult angle. And that looks to be the substitute making that run. Going up that beautiful ball from Riley, well weighted. But look at that angle. I mean, it's very difficult to beat the keeper from there. He should have been looking to get it right across the face of the goal. And again, you had Mark Ramdeen coming in at the far post. Another player down.
Well, again,
James?
Something that we've seen far too often in the opening 45 minutes of this Ascension tournament match. As another player is on the carpet at the moment, and it appears to be Shaquille Edwards, the right back for Port of Spain. The good news is that he is back on his feet.
Well, he's had a torrid evening so far, because I think Mark Ramdeen has been a live wire for Deportivo on their left side, which is the right side of AC Port of Spain.
So we should be out of minutes in the first half. A first half that has ebbed and has flowed. And
Hasn't been a bad game, has it? I think both teams are playing this high press, not giving the either opposition to settle on the ball, and so we've seen a lot of passes just going astray. But I think it's because of good tactical play by both teams.
well, that one has gone out of the ground, perhaps, as the clock continues to run down.
Talk about rundown. We see Edwards is running back onto the field,
that's
just
a
out
good
of the
look.
picture, which is good news.
Here's Andre Pacheco looking for movement ahead of him. Plays it into Ramdeen. Oh, that's nice link-up play from point 14. Can they open the door? Isaiah Hudson thinks about it. Here's Ramdeen. He's got 3 inside the area. Can he pick out one of them? Well cut out. Maybe a chance on the other end. Oh, he's done well. And the defender's done better. Cornwall, as the whistle sounds, signaling the end of the first half. An even first half between AC Port of Spain and Deportivo Point Fortin. And it certainly was a decent match.
Oh yeah, I think 1-1 probably a fair result at the half so far. Both teams having their moments. AC Port of Spain started quickly, and Deportivo, they were a little bit slow in getting out of the blocks, but they struck first with a beauty of a goal from Mark Ramdeen. He scored the first goal, and then of course the equalizer coming from Charles from AC Port of Spain. But a good encounter. Both teams having their fair share of chances. So it's been, I think, a 1-1 at halftime is probably a fair indication of the play thus far. But we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back. We don't have Ken win. Yes, sorry. Yes, sorry. Well, first half in which we saw both teams getting a goal apiece, and a fast, exciting first half. A half that really started with AC Port of Spain putting the pressure on Deportivo, and let's have a look at some of the highlights. But this is the goal in which, what a shot here from Mark Ramdeen, a beauty of a left foot. He banged it after the AC Port of Spain team just couldn't clear the lines, and the loose ball came out to Ramdeen, and we all know from his Naparima days playing secondary schools football just how good a left foot he has, and he put it away. Here is another chance for Deportivo, and a good tackle in the end coming in. There is the shot now coming in. A good shot on the volley by Philip. He has since come off with some hamstring problems, but an excellent turn. He hit it on the volley, and a beauty of a goal. But here comes the AC Port of Spain team, and a wonderful equalizer, a very difficult angle. Marvin Phillip had come out to make it even more difficult, and the ball was put away by Anthony Charles, finding the angle, and a lovely bit of play again by the Port of Spain team. And here comes Deportivo looking to score. Should have got that ball across rather than trying the shot, and that is the situation here at the half-time. 1-1 between Deportivo Point Fortin and AC Port of Spain. Remember, Deportivo lost their first game by 3-0 against Police, where AC Port of Spain, they had a 1-1 result against Central, so they are again being held here 1-1, and it's going to be interesting what happens in the second half. We're going to see some tired legs, of course, because we keep mentioning these teams have only been in training for 3 weeks to a month maximum, so we're going to get some tired legs in the second half. We're going to get some mistakes, and it's a question of which team can capitalize on the defensive mistakes made by the opposition and can put the ball away. But so far we've seen again, this is the second time we've been up here. We were here last Friday, and in the games last Friday we saw very competitive games. You know, both teams, all the teams giving all. Again, we're seeing that here tonight. Both these teams have come out, they're tackling hard, they're not giving space to the opponents, and it's been a really good first half. We're going to take a break now, and when we come back we should be getting ready for second half action.
Welcome back to the La Hockeyta Recreation Ground Ascension Football League action. AC Port of Spain against Deportivo Point Fortin. Scores tied at 1 apiece after first half. As we get set for the second half, James Saunders alongside Colin Murray. And how do you summarize the first half action and what needs to be done to get this game really started into life?
Well, I think what we saw was a very even first half. I think no team really dominated. You looked at AC Port of Spain started quickly, but then they conceded a goal. And Deportivo started to come into the game a little bit more, but they were unfortunate to get an injury to their striker, Henry. He went down, and then Philip, who was controlling the midfield, he also went down. Both of them seemed to have muscle injuries, and so they had to be replaced. I thought that interrupted a little bit the flow of Deportivo, and AC Port of Spain kept getting stronger and getting better into the game. The one bright spark I thought, for Deportivo continued to be Mark Ramdeen wide on that left side. He was creating a lot of problems for Edwards, who was playing the right back for AC Port of Spain. He was getting into some good positions. He was crossing the ball when needed to be. He took a couple shots. He scored the goal. But I thought the injuries to Henry and Philip brought AC Port of Spain back into the game. And it was no surprise when they got the equalizer through Anthony Charles. Very interesting, nice ball being played down the right side. He had a very acute angle in which to beat Marvin Phillip at that back post. He went for the back post. Phillip came out trying to cut the angle, and give Charles credit. He aimed for that far corner and he hit it, and just like that, it was now 1-1. What both these teams are going to do, I expect to see more of the same in the second half. I think what the Deportivo is doing, they're trying to use Riley wide on the right, Ramdeen wide on the left, trying to spread the AC Port of Spain defense and then get that ball across. The thing is, when they do get it across, they've got up front, they've got Gregory, who's replaced Henry, and then the midfielders in Kaiser and Phillip was coming forward, and Hudson trying to attack that cross ball that is coming in. Now Pacheco is not going to be rushing forward. I think he's going to be more playing a holding defender and spraying the passes around. So when the crosses come in from Riley and from Ramdeen, you're going to look at Kaiser, you're going to look at Hudson possibly coming forward, looking to get that go-ahead goal. AC Port of Spain, on the other hand, they tend to knock it at the back, trying to be a little bit more calculated in their passes, getting it up to Benny. Benny seems to hold on to it, looking for the support coming from Warner, McLean and Augustus. They seem to be coming from the midfield to support Benny. Once he's there, it's Benny coming onto the field actually for the second half. I think a lot is going to be dependent on him to hold up the ball for his midfielders to come forward and look to get that go-ahead goal. But all in all, it's going to be a very interesting second half. And I'll tell you what, James, I've got $1 in my pocket and it's going to stay there, because I couldn't tell you who's going to win this game. It's that close.
Really?
Yeah. What really? That is that close, or the $1 in my pocket?
$1. I was surprised that you had $1.
Yeah, but it's going to be a close one. Any of these two teams could get the winner here.
Well, we fans certainly hoping for an exciting second half. Marvin Phillips, he's certainly been really solid at the back for Deportivo Point Fortin.
Hasn't really been tested, has he? But yet he finds himself picking up the ball out of the back of the net.
That's how cookie crumbles sometimes. Just a word of prayer happening at the moment from AC Port of Spain. They're going to be hoping to pull a trump card out of the pack. Well, speaking of trump cards, Che Benny seems to be coming in for the second half, and he will replace the goal scorer, Anthony Charles. So Che Benny, ton load of experience. Many eyebrows that have been raised at the venue when he was not included in the starting 11, but he's certainly a player with enormous potential. He was part of two Caribbean players to have a trial at Manchester United a couple of years ago, Che Benny, together with a player from Antigua. There was a competition and he got the opportunity. Unfortunately, couldn't land a contract at Manchester United, but he certainly is an enormous talent, comes from enormous footballing pedigree. And AC Port of Spain will be hoping that together with his brother at the top of the attack, that they can ring in some changes for AC Port of Spain?
I tell you what, I've seen Benny on numerous occasions for St. Anthony's. I remember one game, St. Anthony's against QRC, and QRC were leading 3-1, and all of a sudden, 2 free kicks from Benny, and the game ended 3-all. It was absolutely brilliant. I think the third goal, the equalizer, was almost scored in stoppage time. You know, it was, and of course, QRC ground it was at QRC ground, and the St. Anthony's supporters went absolutely berserk.
Tell you what, he perhaps effectively retired me from football when he was 12 years old, played in a charity match with ex-professionals, and let's just say that he had the better of me. I was the goalkeeper.
Oh no, well,
here's Mark Ramdeen.
I wouldn't ask you what was the score, James. I'll refrain from that.
It's well documented in the local press. Is there a way that you can erase those memories? Port of Spain can't get past the big frame of Andre Pacheco in the middle. Che Benny is always a player that always admired.
I would expect him, as you talk about Pacheco, the big frame, he's going to be in that midfield. I think he's going to play that holding midfield. He's getting all over, who's that? He's getting all over the AC Port of Spain player. Looks like Keza. But Pacheco, he's going to hold that midfield together. I don't expect him going forward all that much. He's going to look to hold that midfield, spray the ball around, and get his attackers going.
But he did start his career as a left winger, Andre Pacheco. Later in his career, he did move to the centre of the field. Here's Mark Ramdeen's silky smooth touch. Looking to open up space. Can he find a shot? Does get a shot, and it's well off the target. But it certainly does get a round of applause from the supporters, appreciative of some of the action taking place.
Yeah, certainly the shot was not a good one. It's looked like, and never got over it, so it was always going to be a problem.
Well, that's Benny's first involvement in the match.
And already you see him looking to spray these long balls, James.
It's being used as a central midfielder by AC Port of Spain. Team, very young team. It's a average age of just around 23, 24 years old. Coached by the veteran,
and you
Gilbert Battle.
You look at that, James, as you mentioned, 23 years old. It's good for Trinidad and Tobago's football. Here's Ramdeen.
Well, they're trying to carve open the yellow shirts, and they do it successfully. Can he get a shot away? Hudson, well, somehow squeeze it and hasn't. Well, somehow it missed the mark, and I'm not quite sure, Colin, is my eyes deceiving me, but I'm not quite sure how that missed the mark.
Yeah, I thought it was in the back of the net. I was expecting to see the net shake, but it never happened. So give Holder credit, because a good bit of play again from Deportivo, getting the ball across. There's a section of the crowd. I expect that with the second game, with La Horquetta Rangers, Terminex La Horquetta Rangers involved, the stand is going to be full, as we saw last week against Defence Force. Different challenge for them today, coming up against Police.
Tough challenge as well. Kessa floats this one in, headed away. Challenge for it here. Port of Spain to come away with it. Here's Che Benny. Well, he tries to nutmeg his man, but he's having none of it.
Thought he waited too long. That should have been a ball played straight up the line, because you looked at Gregory. He was making the run.
This one is headed back into the yellow zone. And Cornwall, how steady has he been all evening? And Riley, well, a bit of inconsistency there from him.
Actually, I said Gregory. It was Warner who was actually making the run for Shea Benny, but he tried to hold on to the ball rather than playing it one time.
Yes, Shea Benny tries to squeeze one through, but offside position was Giovanni Warner. Never attempted to go after it. Yes, Marvin Phillips. Well, here's a fun fact about Marvin Phillips. He did start his career as a striker for Presentation College in his youth days. He actually top scored for the college in the Southern Division before switching to the goalkeeping position, and forthwith being selected as part of the Trinidad and Tobago under-20 team that took part in the World Cup that was held in Trinidad and Tobago. Long ball, looking for Warner. Picked up by Phillip. It's been around so long, Marvin Phillip. Still seems top of his game. Can he find options? Well, he's gone to ground. That's not the option he was hoping for. It's point 14 come away with it. They often say that a lot of goalkeepers do start their career in front of goal, playing as some sort of striker.
And why would they then want to go in the goal, James? Tell me.
Well, I never answered the question personally.
You were a goalkeeper. I think goalkeeping reminds me of it in cricket as a wicket keeper. You just, I mean, unless you just want to be in the game in terms of, in terms of the football, you're not in the game. But and then if you make a mistake, the team can lose 1-0. If you're a striker, you can throw it 10 goals and then suddenly score, and you're still a hero. But Marvin Phillips has been absolutely a brilliant servant for Trinidad and Tobago's football.
Oh, here we go, Benny. Trying to get past Cornwall, but Cornwall has been really solid in the left back position for point 14. That one was again well cut out. Here's Etienne charging forward, spots the run of Akinola Gregory. Can he get space to deliver a good cross in? Or at the far post? And a bit high, but he's done well. And it's back with Port of Spain. They're grateful to have that ball back in possession. But scrap that. It's back with point 14. Pacheco, pass cut out. Oh, that's a good pass to Gregory again, finding some joy. And it's a high challenge. And I'm quite surprised that there's no whistle, but here comes AC Port of Spain. Thought that the left boot left the ground.
Well, very interesting that the referee is not to call that. I thought there was some contact, but the referee obviously felt that there was no contact. Let's have a look. Well,
his boot did leave the playing surface. 8 out of 10 times that might have been called. Not this time. Yes, Shea Benny. Nice bit of link-up play here. Can get them in behind. And they get in behind, and Marvin Phillip is called into action. And like the Rock of Gibraltar, he's still standing. And the scoreline remains 1-1.
I tell you, Stevens, he was the one who went down on that challenge a little earlier. But here, let's have a look at this from Marvin Phillip. Excellent, excellent bit of goalkeeping. He covered that first post, which was so very important.
Well, they will have another opportunity to come at the Trinidad and Tobago #1 goalkeeper, Marvin Phillip. This one floated on top of the area. Goes for a volley, and well, he connected well, but the reception was anything from clear. And will be point 14's turn to reset their attack. It's trying to play it out of the back. It's Hudson. Jordan Riley.
That's good football, and this could be problems.
Riley in a good area, and he's walked that into the back of the net. The substitute, Akinola Gregory, sends a kiss to his supporters back in point 14, and he says, "This is for you. This is for you," courtesy Deportivo, as they take a 2-1 advantage.
There goes Riley's. Play the ball. This is getting the return ball and getting the better of the defender, and what a good ball inside. All Gregory had to do was basically walk it into the goal, which he did. Excellent and brilliant bit of football. In the meantime, we see a substitution is going to be made. With that goal, AC Port of Spain quickly making the substitution.
So it's a change for AC Port of Spain. They need to change things up as
Edwards, the man coming out.
And another young player coming in for Athletic Club. Ethan Carter. He gets his first appearance in this evening, and Carter says goodnight. Here's the goal scorer, Akinola Gregory. Came in as a replacement for Shaquille Henry, and what an impact he's made so far. But what an impact this man is having. He has rammed in to Gregory. Oh, he tried to be clever with that pass, almost succeeded. Well defended though by the substitute. So the incoming substitute, Ethan Carter, already called into service, and he's denied them so far. Here's Cornwall. Here's Benny. And he's just run out of real estate, and that will be a throw to point 14. Here's Gregory. Turning, weaving. He's got two to deal with. Clever footwork that can he get past them? They still keep it alive. Here's Ramdeen. Oh, that's a good turn, but he's run into some trouble. And the chase will be on. Should be easy for Etienne. Well, as cool as you'd like from the big man.
Great defending, because there was trouble at the back, and had he missed that ball, AC Port of Spain could have been in.
Oh, he's such a cool player, Etienne. One time was considered one of the best local players playing on home soil, Andre Etienne. Did win the CONCACAF, or took part in the CONCACAF Champions League with W Connection. Was a big part of Central FC's success as well.
In the meantime, James Benny is getting some treatment there. He again looks like cramp. So we're going to see, it's like a recurring decimal here, because a lot of these players are going to go down with cramp, muscle injuries, and you've got to feel for them.
So Alec Benny was just been ruled off of the playing service so that they can continue. A younger brother of Shea Benny. But play will continue with Andre Pacheco. It's Cornwall. Charges forward Cornwall. He's got some space to navigate, and he's gotten Gregory in, but the flag goes up. Will be offside.
Moved a little too early. Good bit of movement again down the left side by Cornwall, but I think it was it Gregory who had gone too early.
I'll tell you what, Colin Murray, I think that Benny might be needing a bit more treatment than first expected, as there's lots of movement on the sidelines. Deportivo, point 14, seem to be...
Yeah, they're making a substitution as well.
In the meantime, they go in search of more goals. They lead by 2-1. Easily bumped off from Athletic Club. Oh, he's lost that in a bad area. Here's Isaiah Hudson. And they come away with Shea Benny. Oh, that's a good turn, but he's given away possession. It's Kessa. It's a free kick though. Oh, they're taking their time to get this one going, but they do find some joy down the left-hand side. It's back inside the area. Chance for a shot. Well cut out by Wesley John.
It's Carter's first touch, isn't it?
Away by John. Pacheco gives it back to Sion Thomas. Here's Carter. He's looked lively since coming on, Carter, on the right-hand side of the attack. And finally, that change that I was talking about will be made. And
John Wesley. John Wesley, the man coming on.
And out comes the hard-working Ezekiel Kessa. So Kessa had a solid night. He has been replaced by John Wesley. Yes, Shea Benny looking to get some space going forward. Turned himself into trouble, but they managed to keep it. I'll tell you what, they're still playing with 10 men at the moment, AC Port of Spain.
Alec Benny is actually been substituted, James.
Yeah, I think he's going to come off.
Yeah, and the man who's replaced him looks to be, is it Kyle Bartholomew? Kyle Bartholomew.
So still with 10 players on the field. And it seems to be the end of the evening for Alec Benny. He will play no further part in the match. But here's Port of Spain. So that change has just been made out your picture. It's taken really quickly. So Kyle Bartholomew is in for Alec Benny. Looked really lively all evening, Benny, at the top of the attack for Port of Spain. Yes, Etienne. He's coming forward now to Mark Ramdeen.
Another good ball, isn't it?
Riley has a burst of pace. Wasn't successful this time. Heavy touch, but they keep possession. Cut out. Bundled out of possession. And will be a foul against Athletic Club. Again, Etienne not afraid to get in the mix of anything rough and rugged.
The thing is, though, Deportivo Point Fortin, they've got no more substitutions. So they've got to be careful because we've still got, what, about 20 minutes left in this game.
Here's Athletic Club. They're building momentum. Point Fortin, they lead by 2-1. Quite content to allow the yellow shirts to come at them. Can't beat Wesley John in the air. Cornwall comes away with it. Ramdeen. Well, 50-50, but he's done well to hold on to possession, but he gives it away straight forward. Oh, that's a good turn as well. Can he get some joy here? Andre Pacheco, Wesley John. They've got a more settled look about them, Point Fortin, since Pacheco has come onto the field.
Another man down. Well.
And quite right about that.
I tell you what, though, as I just said, James, Deportivo,
for them.
they've got no other substitutions. So if he's got to come off, they're going to have to play with 10.
I think it would be a big blow for them if Cornwall were to be replaced. He has been one of the best players together with this man, Mark Ramdeen, scorer of the first goal for Deportivo Point Fortin. And seemed to be at the heart of everything fun for them. Almost seemed to walk around the park, playing passes, and they're making challenges as well. That's what you want to see from your midfielders.
That's right. But he's in the game all the time and gets up to and gets the ball across. That's important. When you're playing that wide like himself and Jordan Riley, they've got to look to get that ball across to their strikers. But he's had an excellent game so far, Ramdeen. There's Terminex La Hoqueta Rangers. They're warming up.
They're going to be next. Russ Russell Jr. and company, Atula Guerra. Host of big names. Here's Ramdeen.
I think with that game, it's going to tell us just how good police are.
But we'll find out. Ramdeen in a good area there. He goes to ground. And again, Quincy Williams says no foul. It's Pacheco. Manages to hold on to possession. Isaiah Hudson. Oh, that's a good turn from Gregory. Back to Pacheco. Yes, Hudson. Oh, that's a good run trying to find Gregory. Well cut out by Holder.
The idea was excellent, trying to just get it over the top of the defense for the run from Gregory. But Holder did well, anticipated the danger and came off his line.
Watch your line, watch your line.
Can they get some joy going forward? Not past Wesley John.
I think both John at the back, John and Etienne at the back, they've been excellent for Deportivo. Their positional play has been great. There's a great ball from Pacheco.
Yes, Jordan Riley, scorer of the creator of the second goal for Point Fortin. done well there to get it to Carter. Can he get out of trouble? Well, got his wires crisscrossed and give away possession. Now, I'm really hard pressed to pick out a top player in this match. Now, it's easy to pinpoint Mark Ramdeen as perhaps the best player on the field, but I think that Cornwall, defensively as well, has been... I'm hard pressed to leave him out of the conversation as to one of the better players on the field for Deportivo.
Yeah, he's been good. I think John has been good. Etienne has been good. I thought defensively they've played well. But, when I look at the sort of play from Ramdeen, his carrying of the ball, his crossing of the ball, his shot to score the goal, I think he got Deportivo off and running. That's a foul.
Bit of rough play from Wesley John. And gives a free kick opportunity for Athletic Club. No surprise, Shea Benny is the man standing over it. His mission to beat that man in goal, Marvin Phillips.
I doubt he's going to go from goal from this angle.
But he certainly got lots of yellow shirts in the area. 6 yellow shirts. Hoping to get at the end of Benny's cross.
He's got to get it inside the box. So for someone maybe at the far post to run onto it.
Got to contend with the big frame of Wesley John and Andre Etienne. Can Shea Benny conjure up something for AC Port? It's been a free header at the back door, and it's in.
What a ball! What a header! No, James, I was talking about Shea Benny getting this ball down to the far post. It was a pinpoint across onto the head of that man. Let's see.
Who won the ball? You wonder he fell initially, and he got at the end of it as well.
Look at that ball. Look at it. Down to the far post, coming in at the back, and the header was just as good as that cross ball. What a ball from Benny. What a header. What a goal. 2-2.
Very, very good goal from AC Port of Spain. A goal scored by Kyle Bartholomew, a substitute. Won the foul, and then he fitted from it. So all to play for. 2-2 now between Point Fortin. He looked in control of the match for long spells, but Shea Benny has certainly conjured up some magic and put them right back in contention.
You got to give AC Port of Spain a lot of credit. When you think they're down and out and they're not going to get back in the game, they suddenly come back into this game. They did it in the first half. They started well. They went 1 goal down, and you thought, well, Deportivo is going to hold on. They came back. They equalized. Second half, same thing. I thought at the moment they equalized here, Deportivo was starting to create gaps in their defense. You thought Riley one side, Ramdeen on the other, and then going through the middle was Gregory, and you felt that Deportivo was starting to control the game. But credit to AC Port of Spain. And we talked about the left foot of Shea Benny as well. A beauty of a cross, pinpoint onto the head of Bartholomew.
Well, here comes AC Port of Spain. Pumped up after that equalizer from Bartholomew. This time we run into trouble. McLean. And
that's a good tackle.
Tough looking tackle from Sion Thomas, the skipper. And puts a man down. He's signaling at the bench for some treatment. And they've got no options on the bench, meaning they've used up all of their 5 substitutes.
But that was a tough tackle, a fair tackle. But and that's what we've been seeing. We saw it last week with Defence Force, with Canopia. We saw it with all the teams last week. Tough tackling. The players not giving each other a chance to breathe. And here we're seeing the same thing with these 2 teams. Good, hard tackling. It's, again, a very good competitive game, James.
So good to see that they can still play it in good spirits despite the competitive nature of the game. Ramdeen having some.
He's smiling with Carter, probably what's saying him, well, I'm going to go past you just now for the third goal.
Players, of course, would have known each other playing in the Youth Pro League competition. Many of these players would have participated in that competition. Well, he still looks in some discomfort at the moment, Jeremiah Kessa. And Point Fortin will be forced to play with 10 players in the interim. Etienne asking for movement. Kicks out Cornwall. Well, he does manage to keep it. It's Ramdeen. And that is illegal, says the referee. Nicole Stevens a bit over-exuberant with the challenge. Well, that's a good turn from Gregory. Can't get past the yellow shirts, booted away. Giovanni Warner sent into dangerous areas to Dale McLean.
Of course, James, the airport is pretty close to the ground, so suppose a plane either taking off or coming or landing. Yeah, you would, as a former pilot, you would think it's going off.
Well, I did complete one of my bucket list items. I flew a small aircraft for my birthday in February.
I hope nobody went with you.
Well, we came back.
Nobody was that brave with it.
We landed, most importantly. I was concerned myself for a few. But the atmosphere certainly is building here in La Hoquita. The crowd pouring in. Of course, the home team, La Hoquita Rangers, they're up next. They're going to be facing off against second place Police.
I'm really looking forward to that encounter. And just for the sake of there's some of the crowd, by the time the second game starts, it's going to be really building even more. You notice somebody in the crowd there?
So Kishon Sicharan.
Okay.
Surprised to see him not in the squad list. Of course, he's a part of the Rangers team, a former national youth player. And of course, we just saw the rhythm section men.
Yeah, we haven't heard from them for the night. Bet your life when the second game starts, we're going to hear a lot more of them and from them.
Yes, Pacheco looking for Ramdeen. And, well, another tough tackle from the captain, Cian Thomas. Sends him flying. He's a big boy, Cian Thomas. He's not afraid to get into rough situations.
And when you look at him and you look at the size of Ramdeen, it's a little bit of a mismatch.
I think that's an understatement to say that. David versus Goliath. Of course, we know the end of that story.
Very true. And could happen here tonight as well.
Long throw in. Booted away by AC Port of Spain. Yes, Wesley John. He's tempted to go back to his goalkeeper. Just losing his footing there, and John has to get in, and boy does he get in. Sends his man flying there, taking no prisoners.
Oh, that's a good ball. Excellent ball, but Riley just couldn't control it for himself.
Oh, Riley's almost disposed like a paper towel there by the defender. Here's Shea Benny looking to open up the park. He does open it up.
Ooh, I thought that was a foul.
Wesley John comes away with it. Carter giving chase. And John eventually goes to ground and wins a foul for Point Fortin. It's been big and solid all evening, Wesley John. And just losing out to the younger, fresher legs of Carter. But Wesley John certainly has, he's been around. He's played in Turkey, Belarus, Uzbekistan, Latvia, El Salvador, certainly has been. Started his career at W Connection. Wealth of experience, and he's back at home representing his home community. Here's the big frame of Cian Thomas. Well, they're coming away now, looking to mount an attack of their own. Couldn't pick
away.
back out
Yep.
Benny. Yes, Pacheco. Bit too straight maybe, but he's found his man well. As he Akinola Gregory tries a shot deflected, and what a save that was. Although the referee's whistle did go belatedly, I'm not quite sure what he signaled.
It's a corner. He's giving a corner.
Well, it seems to have gone out, but what a save was.
Oh, excellent. I don't think the deflection came. And hold on, let's have a look. Brilliant ball. And there is the cross and the deflection. Well, was that Etienne with the deflection? But the keeper was absolutely, not Etienne, sorry, it was Thomas with the deflection, and Holder was brilliant.
Long ball at the back door, couldn't find a yellow shirt. And a bit of pushing and shoving. So it will be Athletic Club to come out of that one. You can just see the exhaustion on the face of the players.
We heard some, I'm not sure if some of the bad language was picked up in our microphones, and we do apologize for any bad language that was that had come through our mics.
Here's Carter. Has been lively since coming on. Good looking ball cut out by Etienne. Was a bit flat there, point Fortin. Almost forced to pay. Will be a throw to Port of Spain. Just a bit of rain coming down here in La Hoquita. Had drizzled earlier prior to the start of this match. Shea Benny.
It's a good ball. Benny so far has been commanding in the middle and spreading the ball left to right.
For more space opening up for AC Port of Spain. Couldn't get past Cornwall that time. Oh, they keep possession. Point Fortin just losing some steam in the legs at the moment, as the younger legs of Athletic Club, they come into play. I think they've done well, the young men at Athletic Club, coached of course by Gilbert Bato, the father of former Trinidad and Tobago international captain Sheldon Bato.
Well, another player is down.
His daughter Tiana Bato as well would have represented the female national team. And well, that's for the first time this evening. The right back, Jeremiah Kessa, has to receive some treatment. But how important was this moment from Shea Benny? Substitutes combining well to give AC Port of Spain a well-deserved equalizer in this match and put them in contention.
But what a beautiful ball from Shea Benny. He knew exactly where he wanted to put it, going to the far post, and Bartholomew coming in with the header and went for the far corner, and he timed his jump well, and he put the header into the far corner. Excellent goal. But what a ball from that man, Shea Benny. Couldn't understand how they didn't start with him. He was on the bench, and that really surprised me.
So play restarts. AC Port of Spain trying to find some space. They've broken one line. Try to go forward and overhit. And just couldn't get at the end of that one. So they gift possession back to Point Fortin. Mark Ramdeen is gone a bit quiet in the last few minutes.
Haven't been able to get the ball to him. They've not been able to spread the play and get Mark Ramdeen into the action. They need to do that.
So here's Carter. Perhaps one of the reasons that Ramdeen has been so quiet in the second half. It's been solid since coming on for Athletic Club. It's Carter.
Good tackle.
And again, Ramdeen can't get it away, but they have won a throw.
How are we going to see a winner from either of these teams? It's been a good, hard-fought encounter. And really and truly, at this point in time, you have to say it's a fair result. I don't think both teams have given their all. They took their chances, and both have scored good goals.
Well, the clock is winding down here at the La Hoqueta Recreation Ground. It's all square between AC Port of Spain and Deportivo Point Fortin. 2 goals apiece. Can somebody snatch a winner late in the contest? Andre Pacheco would like to headline that narrative as he lines up a free kick. Sent the big men forward, and this one is floated in. Should be an easy catch for the goalkeeper. Back in the air, and the
what a
run
good
away
take.
Jordan Riley. But he's trying to use the burst of pace, and he's really quick. Gets it back and puts it in a dangerous area. And Gregory couldn't wrap his foot around it. But has he won a corner? It seems he has. He has won a corner.
But what a good take from Riley, wasn't it? He took it down nicely, went down the line with it, trying to get it the cross in, which is what he's been doing most of the evening. Excellent ball coming across.
So it's another opportunity to get the big men into action. Ramdeen stands over it. They've got Etienne, they've got Pacheco, they've got John in the area. And John goes up, and his header is deflected as he won another corner. He has, and it's another opportunity. Well, the showers have intensified here. It's pouring now at the La Hoqueta venue. Ramdeen, another good-looking ball, aimed in at Etienne. He gets a head on it and couldn't direct it on target. And it will be Athletic Club that gets off the hook.
He was just too much over that ball, wasn't he? Just needed to just back a little bit to get the header in. But by the time he jumped, he was too much over the ball and just couldn't get the header in. More or less just slid off the top of his head.
Well, he's run into some traffic there. Kept it. Given away. Some tired legs and show. Passes not connecting as frequently as they did early in the match. It's Etienne. Wesley John. Such a leader in this team, Wesley John. Didn't lead by example on that occasion. AC Port of Spain trying to build up from the back.
That's a foul.
And well, Carter, he's had that battle going all evening, and this time Akinola Gregory saying he's had enough, sent him flying, legally so. Really late then in that challenge. There's Shea Benny. He's conjured up one magical moment so far. Can he get another? Maybe too long. It is too long. It's .14 goal kick.
The rain is coming down much harder here now. But it's going to be interesting what it does to the field for the second game.
Well, it is a good surface here in La Hoqueta. And it's a surface that has held up well in the past. Shouldn't affect the playing conditions too much if the conditions do not intensify any more than this. I tell you what, the clock winds down. We're looking for a hero. So far, Mark Ramdeen seems to stand out.
He's had a quiet second half, but I still think he's done enough in the game to warrant him being my man of the match, James. He's taken a couple good set pieces and he's knocked the ball around nicely for Deportivo. Here's another
Here's
chance.
Riley trying to open up some space for Gregory. Again, cut out. Shea Benny would like to put his handle on that title as well if he can help his team conjure up perhaps a winner. Here's Etienne. Gregory. It's come a bit deeper, and that's a careless giveaway from the defender. Struggled with injury all evening. Has he got himself in a good position, has gotten the better of Etienne, and well, he went to ground rather easily. Too easily for the liking of referee Quincy Williams. Andre Pacheco. Mark Ramdeen. It's Cornwall. It's gone across to the right back position. And, well, he's gone to ground. I'm sure any of the players would mind having a quick break. Riley perhaps protesting that a bit of time wasting in effect. Not sure anybody else would mind too much. It's been an intense game for the most part. Players always enjoy having a rest period. Well, they're certainly taking their time to get play restarted.
Yes, I think, as you quite rightly said, I think they're just very happy to just take a little bit of a breather. It's been that type of game. It's been very intense. It's been a real battle between two evenly matched teams.
Shea Benny couldn't turn his way out of that traffic. But he gets back possession now. Can he create something? Not this time. But he's pushed up in a more advanced position as Riley uses his pace yet again to good effect, and this time he couldn't keep it in. But how about that from Jordan Riley? He certainly has exploded at least 3 moments that I can remember.
Yeah, he's had a much better
pace.
second half, hasn't he? He's been much more into the game. I think he's been getting the balls to his liking. You know, they've been playing it just through the defense that he can run onto, and that's how he loves to play. In the first half, I thought he didn't have that room in which he was able to run on to balls being played ahead of him. Second half, that has happened. Ramdeen now, on the other hand, he's gone more into a midfield position in the second half, and I would have thought that his best position, there he is trying to get into the middle to put in a tackle, but I thought his best position is going wide on the left and really attacking and spreading the AC Port of Spain defenders.
Well, he certainly had more space, less space than the attacker found, and facing up there to the defender. No, he's had a busy night as well. Picked the ball out of his net on 2 occasions. And this one runs harmlessly out of play. Well, there can't be much minutes remaining. Very soon we should get a signal from the fourth official as to just how many minutes in this match remains. Still 2 goals apiece between AC Port of Spain and Deportivo. Can something happen here? Wow. Communication, quite similar to the Tower of Babel, speaking different languages.
Rain is still coming down here at the La Horquetta Rangers ground. Making conditions, it should be interesting, especially for game number 2. With these conditions, very, very wet conditions here now.
Here's Gregory.
It's going to make life tight for the defenders.
But I tell you what, the defenders are certainly enjoying the nice slippery surface. They're using it to put in some tackles. As 4 minutes has been signaled by the fourth official. So roughly 4 minutes of time remaining for either of these teams to try and probe a winner. AC Port of Spain drawing their first match.
Well, Deportivo should be, unless something happens in the last 4 minutes, should be getting their first point of the tournament. But I think they would be happy to get a draw. I would expect that they would have thought that AC Port of Spain had to come from behind twice. So they would be looking at their defensive mistakes that they've made in this game to allow AC Port of Spain back into the game.
Here's Athletic Club. Scott Carter overlapping. Shea Benny getting the attention of Pacheco. Sprays it across the field. They're piling bodies forward. They want to get something from this match. And, well, quite cheaply, conceding possession.
James, I'm not too sure of Ramdeen's position. He seems to have gone back into a midfield role, you know, and I just don't think that's his forte. He needs to play wide on the left. He's got a good left foot. He gets the ball across, you know, get him into that wide positions. There he is. Look how deep he is. Look at him. He's so deep, looking to try and create something for Deportivo, when you would have thought he should be more in the attacking third.
I think perhaps it's more by design than preference.
Well, I think they've obviously they were forced into some substitutions. So that's probably the reason why he's gone back into the midfield. But I just think, you know, he's such a dangerous player going forward, especially if he's being used wide on the left. You know, that he's going to create chances for you. I'm not sure. He's so deep here, you know, it's difficult to see him really carving out a chance for his strikers.
Well, here's something that we've seen over and over all evening. Another player having to receive treatment. And, well, it's quite been the road match of this event, as his evening has come to an end, as he will be substituted. So,
is that Warner? Warner, the man.
So Giovanni Warner
substituted.
His evening comes to an end, and he will be replaced for the closing few minutes of the match by Isaiah McLean. So Isaiah McLean will replace Giovanni Warner. Can either of these teams salvage a winner? Still level, 2 goals apiece. But here's Carter. He's done well to open up some space. Runs into Pacheco.
Held on to it too long.
Held on to the man as well. Free kick, tried to take it quickly, but denied.
Probably the last chance for Deportivo Point Fortin to get the winner.
They certainly got ambition. Point Fortin, they sent their central defenders forward in search of one last wave of the wand. Is this the moment from Andre Pacheco? Flicked on, and should be an easy catch, and Cole is quite grateful to hold on to that one. If the results stand, mightn't change the position of either of these teams much. Oh, that's Shea Benny. He's a magician.
He's looking for the shot.
And he's gone down, and the referee says that a bit of play acting involved.
He's gonna get booked.
He's protesting his innocence, and well, he picks up a caution from the referee for his protest.
I think that's the first yellow card of the game. Shea Benny.
Can't remember seeing much yellow cards in this contest, and can't believe his luck as well. Shea Benny was certainly looking for something.
He's not happy with the referee, is he?
And I think the referee's right looking at that replay. Can Isaiah Hudson carve something open? Well, might have carved the door behind the goalposts, as the score remains level as both teams share the points in this first fixture here at the Larkita Recreation Ground. And at the end of full time, it is Deportivo Point Fortin 2, AC Port of Spain 2.
A very fair result, I think. No team really dominated. And I think a 2-2 is a quite a good reflection of this game. You know, you looked at Deportivo, they started quickly, but AC Port of Spain was the one really getting out of the blocks first, and they looked the more dangerous team. And out of nothing, Mark Ramdeen scored the first goal for Deportivo, and the equalizer came from AC Port of Spain. Beauty of a goal at the far post, and they went in 1-1 at half time. And in the second half, more of the same, Deportivo going ahead 2-1, and the equalizer coming from AC Port of Spain. A beautiful free kick from Shea Benny was headed in at the far post. Let's have a look at the highlights of this encounter. There is the first goal, really the shots coming all from all angles, and then Mark Ramdeen running onto it, and he really smacked it. What a hit from him. Hit the top of the net and went into the goal. A beauty of a goal from Mark Ramdeen. He was a danger all first half. In second half, he changed position slightly, but he was a real danger. And then the volley coming there from Holder, just missing its mark. Ran on to that beauty of a cross ball. But all of a sudden, the AC Port of Spain team was trying to get back into this game, and they were carving out chances, and finally Charles was able to put it into the back of the net. Very difficult angle to beat Marvin Phillip, but was a wonderful goal from him, a well-worked goal, and he picked his spot and was able to get past Marvin Phillip. And then here comes Deportivo again in the first half. Very difficult angle was to put that ball into the back of the net, and the first half ended with 1 apiece. Then come the second half action. Again, Deportivo, how did that ball stay out? And AC Port of Spain did very well indeed to keep it out, and in the end the ball was saved from Holder, and another this time Marvin Phillip saving a good shot that was on target. But here goes Deportivo down the right side with Riley getting the ball across, and 2-1, a beautifully worked goal from Deportivo Point Fortin. And like that, in the first half, in the second half, they've taken the lead as well to make it 2-1, and one thought that could AC Port of Spain get back into the game. They certainly could have done. A beauty of a free kick from Shea Benny over to the substitute Bartholomew, and so the two substitutes combining to get the equalizer. And a wonderful free kick down to the far post, headed right back across the face of the goal into the far corner by Kyle Bartholomew to make it 2 apiece. Excellent equalizer from AC Port of Spain. The question was, can any of these teams go on to win it? And the Deportivo again looking dangerous on that, coming forward, and nearly an own goal. So brilliant save there from Holder. Could have so easily could have been an own goal. So 2-2, I would think a fair result on the reflection of play by these two teams, AC Port of Spain and Deportivo Point Fortin. 2 apiece. Let's head down to James Saunders, who has the man of the match with him.
Well, that's right, Point Fortin. They took a point in the evening, but one man who certainly made a point on the field is our man of the match, Mark Ramdeen. Mark, congratulations. What do you thought about your performance today?
Well, it's just the beginning of the season. Stick any mic. It's a bit slow for me like right now because we've been out of football for a while, but I think it was okay. Okay performance.
Happy with your team's performance this evening? It's your first points of the competition so far?
Yeah, it was good. Just a little. The guys are unfit. Football didn't play in a while, so.
Well, congratulations. We certainly enjoyed your performance, and we wish your team, Deportivo, more success in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Of course, that's Mark Ramdeen, our man of the match. And now we hear from the coach of Deportivo Point Fortin, Mr. Francis, is going to join me. And I'm sorry to keep you out in the rain this long, but of course, it's a night of celebration. Your team got their first point. What do you feel about the result?
Well, I'm a bit disappointed seeing that we led twice. You know, I thought we could have bring it home. But all in all, I think we had a good run out, and I am comfortable. I think I'm comfortable with this one.
Now, I listened to your pre-match comments, and you spoke about lack of preparation. Do you think that still hampers your team? We saw some injuries.
Yeah. We're still hampered by that. Probably what we do in playing these matches is actually practice games. You know, I mean, based on the preparation we had, you know, limited preparation, but we're gonna get it right. This was a far better game than the last one, so we see some good signs.
Well, I'm sure the folks back home are going to be happy with the point. Thank you so
we
much,
have a point to carry down point. We're good with that.
A point to carry point. Thanks so much.
All right.
All right, so now we hear from the winning coach or the assistant coach of the evening, Mr. Walt Noriga, and he's going to join me anytime soon. And congratulations to your team. 2 points in 2 matches. Is it a result that you're happy with?
For the preparation, yes, I'm satisfied that the boys, although we was down twice in the game, that they showed their character to stay in the game and get back the goals. And
what's next for your team? You're 4th right now.
We'll just keep working on it, working on the guys' fitness, because the boys and them short of fitness. So all we're asking for them is to stick to the game plan and we take it game by game.
Well, congratulations. Thank you for giving us an entertaining evening as I send it back upstairs to Colin Murray.
Right,
Thank you very much, James. Well, we've heard from the man of the match, the 2 coaches, a draw, an entertaining draw here between Deportivo Point 14 and AC Port of Spain, a 2-all game. And I think at the end, a deserved point for both those teams. So let's take a break and then we'll come back for action in game number 2 here this evening, the big one. Terminex La Horquetta Rangers, they're coming up against Police FC. What a game we expect. We'll be back for that encounter.